Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Primrose and what I'm going to be doing today is a little tag video. So I've not actually done one of these since my very first YouTube video, which was over a year ago now, which is crazy. So yeah, I was just basically scrolling through Pinterest for like 5 hours, as you do, and I came across like some end of year questions, like self-reflection ones, and I thought that'd be really good as a tag video, and I couldn't find anything online about a tag to do with these questions, so I'm starting my own basically. So this is called the 20 questions for end of year self-reflection, so I thought that would be perfect for this video. Now I think these questions are a couple of years old, but I really like them and I like the way they sounded, so I might have adapted some of the dates just for it to fit basically, but let's just get started straight away. So question number 1, what is something I accomplished this year that I am proud of? So without a doubt, the biggest thing that I've done this year, don't know if I've mentioned it, might have said already, I've been traveling for 6 months, and that was the most intense thing that I've ever done, and such a big step for me because I've never been away from home for one, I've never been away from home for that long. 2, never been away from home that far away, and it was the most incredible experience. I felt properly independent. It was just me and Blake that went, so that was a massive thing for us because we only used to see each other 2 days a week. We only got to see each other at the weekends. So we went from 2 days a week to then all of a sudden 6 months together, day in, day out, every single day, 24/7, all the time, constantly around each other, which again is a massive thing, and most people don't make it through that on its own. So it was an incredible thing for us to get through this together on its own. Just an incredible experience, and I'm so proud of myself for having achieved it and done it, because I could have, like everything that I do, could have just ran away and said, oh my goodness, no, I can't do this, but I wanted to do it, and I've got such a drive to travel, and it was an incredible experience to do. So I am so proud of myself for achieving that and going ahead and doing it, and getting through some of the things that I got through is crazy, and has really built me up as a person. Now that I've finished rambling, question number 2. What is something I did this year that I'll remember for the rest of my life? So not gonna say the traveling again, not gonna drop it. But to do with travelling, one of the most incredible experiences I had was at the Elephant Freedom Project. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this because I want to make a separate video on my experience with the Elephant Freedom Project, what I thought about it, what I thought about the people, the place, etc. However, the experience of bathing a real life elephant in a river and the experience of walking with her down the road, it was the most incredible thing that I've ever done. They are such insanely beautiful animals. It was an experience that I will remember for the rest of my life. It was crazy. It was so surreal. I've never had an experience like that, and to think animals like that actually exist, like not just seeing them on a TV or behind a fence when you go to a zoo. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and I would love to have the opportunity to do something like that again. Question number 3. What was the most challenging part of this year for me? So I really thought about this question, and not even throughout my trip, but as I got past Thailand, it really began to get hard for me, moving around all the time, so not having a stable home, you know, it was really difficult in the sense that I'm getting to that age now where I want to start building my own home. I want to have a place that I can call home and a safe space that can be mine. Whereas travelling around all the time, every few days having to pack a bag, having to cart it around on your back, you know, long hours and days of travelling to get to the place that you want to be, it really took a toll. And not just that, like all the things that you didn't have, so just having to wear like the same clothes over and over again. I know it sounds so stupid, but like getting them sweaty, getting them dirty, and then having to wash them, and then having the same clothes to wear, and just not feeling fresh as you would if you was at home, and not being able to take care of yourself as you would when you was at home. That was a really big struggle for me. Like, I love just doing like face packs and having skincare and, you know, because I've got psoriasis and rosacea and dry skin and all this other stuff, it was really hard to feel clean and nice. And sometimes a girl just wants to take care of herself, like even men, like it was so difficult to maintain that, and it began to affect my mental health in a way that I'd feel down about myself or crap, and that would probably last a couple of days because I couldn't seem to get out of the slump because I couldn't make myself feel better. And it was really, really difficult to deal with that. And I know it might sound stupid and menial, but that's the struggles that I had. And it really made me appreciate not only the things that I have and how privileged I am, because some of the people that we met and spoke to, they wouldn't have half the things that we had. And it's not all about what you have, but it makes you appreciate what you do have and realise how privileged you actually are. So that is definitely something that I found challenging, and I'm so grateful to have once again now that I'm home. But yeah, even though it sounds so menial and stupid, it's one of the things that I found really difficult, and I'm just going to be honest. Question number 4. In what area do I feel I made my biggest improvements? So with this one, I definitely think it's been my confidence. I really struggle with my social anxiety and being able to talk to people and talk openly and accepting of people, because in the past I've had quite a lot of people that have walked out in my life. It's been really hard to build connections and friendships with people. However, I think since travelling and just the past year, I've become way more open to other people, and I give people so much more of a chance to talk to me and for me to talk to them, and other cultures as well. I really embrace the Thai culture. I love the people of Thailand. I think they are wonderful, they are lovely people, they make incredible food, and I love the language. I definitely want to learn Thai, like it's on my bucket list to do, because I think it's such a nice language. And yeah, it's just my confidence in being able to talk to people, and you know, I just think it's really improved, so I'm happy about that. Question number 5. If I could change one thing that happened this year, what would it be? So this one was a hard one to answer for me, because my first thought was, do I say Sri Lanka and the Easter bombings that happened? And after thinking about it, there's no way that I could change obviously what happened, but if I could change my situation so I wasn't there, would I do it? The thing that I would take back was something that I would say I struggled with the most out of my whole trip, and it affected me so much that I basically withdrew from everyone and everything for like 2 weeks or more. I was distraught, I was incredibly upset, I was the worst mentality that I've ever been. I really was. And I don't really want to go into depth about what happened, but basically I had a really negative experience while diving. So I'll give you the backstory. So basically, before traveling, I did a trial scuba diving because I really started to fall in love with that as a hobby and a thing to do, and watching videos on it. And so Blake bought me that for Valentine's Day, and I was so freaking nervous. I went by myself. That's a big thing for me anyway because of social anxiety. I was by myself. I drove all the way there, and it was a massive like a sports centre. So I went, and I didn't know anybody. Everybody else there had somebody else apart from me, and I actually had the most amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. I had a wicked time. It was so good, and I fell in love with it. And then from there I started looking into things like marine biology and more diving things, and I was taken like that. I thought that's what I want to do with my life, that's the direction I'm going in, that is everything that I want to do. And I want to become a marine biologist, and I want to go diving, and I want to work with like aquatics, and just everything about it seemed like it fit me. And then I watched Chasing Coral on Netflix, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend it with the wholeness of my heart, because it is incredible, and it changed my life. It really did. So after watching that, I was like, I need to do this. This is what I want to do with my life. This is my direction. This is who I am. And I knew whether I wanted to work with animals, obviously, because my degree is in animal management. Yeah, I had direction, focus. So what me and Blake decided to do was book our open water diving certificate while we was travelling. So this we decided to do in Krabi because it's beautiful, it was meant to be one of the best places to do it. And then I don't really want, like I said, I don't really want to go into too much detail because it does still upset me and it does affect me, and it really hurts at the thought that I couldn't do something that I am more than capable of doing. So basically I had really horrible, intense panic attacks. I was freaking out and I don't know why. And the reason that it affects me so much is because my body is telling me that I can't do something, when mentally I can do it, but physically my body was not going to let me do it. And every time that I went under the water, I would freak out. I just had to get to the surface. I couldn't breathe. I already struggle with putting my face under the water, just plainly. Like I have to hold my nose, but like the entire time the instructor was like, oh, if you can't even do that, like how are you going to be diving and stuff, and you've got to learn to do it. And like I'm sure I read that sometimes you can, if you struggle with that, you can have like a clip on your nose and stuff. And it was just like that negativity then fed into me, and I was already feeling negative about myself, so I guess that was a spiral. And then when it comes to actually being under the water, I don't know why I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I just did not feel comfortable in that environment. It literally felt really, really rushed, and like they just wanted to get you through it and done and out as fast as possible. It got to the point where I said, look, I can't carry on. Like it was taking a long time, and I admit that was because of me and my struggles. And I could tell the instructor was getting really pissed off because she kept like leaving and then going on the phone, and it was just not good. And she clearly didn't know how to deal with people that struggles. I'd never done anything like that before, and she clearly didn't know what she was doing to support me like that, which isn't necessarily her fault. But so I said I can't do any more, basically, and I made Blake do his because he was actually really good. And I just cried. I cried on the phone to my sister, and then when Blake had finished his, we went back to the hotel and I sat on the balcony and I cried. This isn't supposed to be a negative video, oh my gosh. And I just cried and cried and cried because I felt like everything and every direction that I had in my life and every focus had gone. And I had no direction and I had no focus, and that is the first time I felt truly lost, and like I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, and that I wouldn't get anywhere with my life because everything that I wanted to do and everything that I wanted to achieve and everything that I wanted to come from doing this and helping animals and helping the environment had gone and slipped away. So anyway, this isn't supposed to be negative. Suck it up. It happens. Like my family said, you can't be good at everything, and that's okay. You can try again another time. It doesn't have to be done today. It doesn't have to be done next week. It's gonna be okay. And I think that's what people can take away from it, because even though you might have had a horrible experience in something or a negative experience, it's not the end of the world. It might hurt, and it might hurt to talk about it, and it might hurt to think about it, but today wasn't the day, and that's alright. Sorry about the heaviness. This was supposed to be a nice video. I promise we're gonna pack things up again. Okay, so question number 6. What are the 3 most important things I've learned this year? So number 1, be confident. No one is judging you, no matter how many eyes you feel on you, no matter if people are staring at you, no matter, even if they are judging you, so what? Are you happy doing what you're doing? Is this what you want to do in your heart? Is this what you want to put your time and energy into? If so, then yes, do it. So what if people are looking? So what if people are judging you? If this makes you happy, then go for it, because at the end of the day, you don't remember all the people that judge you. You don't remember the people that stare at you. You don't remember all of that. You remember how it made you feel if you feel like you've achieved it, and that is really something. So be confident and focus on you. Number 2, be forgiving to others and yourself. Yes, people make mistakes. It's up to you to pick out the ones that deserve forgiveness and make that decision. I always say that if people mess up once, then you talk, you learn from it. If they do the same thing again, they haven't learned from it, and they might not ever. So know when to forgive people. And also, like I say, know when to forgive yourself. We're all still learning. And I'm one of the worst people for being hard on myself and not being able to forgive myself for things. And I need to really learn to do that, because I'm tired of giving myself a hard time. I'm tired of wishing I could take back certain things. All I can try and do is be a good person and make the right decisions for the future and the right decisions going forward. And I think that is one of the most important things. If you want to be a good person, then all you can try and do is be a good person in the future. And that's not to say you shouldn't be a good person now. Like, be a good person now. But we're still learning. You can work on it, and that's okay. Number 3, don't take no crap. So basically what I mean by this is, just because you're a nice person, or don't let being a good person mean that people can walk all over you. You don't deserve it. The amount of times that I have been trampled on, I've been disrespected, I've been taken as a mug because I'm a nice person, and then I don't say anything because I'm a nice person. It's incredibly frustrating, because on the inside I want to scream and I want to shout and explode, but on the outside I am smiling and I am sweet and I'm saying, yeah, that's fine, you can walk all over me, that's not a problem, sure. Yeah, you can be a nice person, but then you can also tell someone to stick it, and that's fine, because people will take advantage of you and will walk all over you and will push you and see how far they can push you to get what they want. So if people are doing that, then don't take no crap, honestly. Question number 7. What 3 things did I do this year to help those around me? So number 1, I put I was kind. And I know that sounds a little bit egotistical, but hear me out. So when I was traveling, I would always make a conscious effort to let people know that they were appreciated and I appreciate what they were doing. So, you know, if you serve food, to always look them in the eye, say thank you very much, you know, I really appreciate this. To try and learn the language, to say I appreciate you as a culture. And not only that, you are representing the country that you're coming from, so I want them to know, yes, people from the UK, we're nice, we're polite, we're kind, and I'm a kind person, and I want you to know that, because I'm representing where I'm coming from and you're representing where you're coming from, and what you're doing is a wonderful thing, whatever that might be. Whether you're a cook, a shop owner, you're valued as a person, and I think that's really important in some places for people to feel valued, especially when you're a tourist and you're going there, because that's their country. You don't necessarily know how things work, you don't necessarily work in the same way, and a lot of the time you're still learning, but I like to make people feel appreciated, and I think in doing so you put out a certain aura about yourself that says you're a good person, and you know, people are more likely to approach you if you're kind and nice to others, and I think that's important. So I know this is kind of a cheat one, but volunteering with the elephant I think was one way that I was helping others around me, just because you're providing something and you know, they live that life day in and day out, and I would never have got that experience or never seen that side of it if I hadn't have done that experience. And in doing so, it helped me see the negative side of it as well, not necessarily from that company, but from other companies that were around in the area. And you know, it helps you have an appreciation for not necessarily how animals are being treated, and I think that's really important. And for the last one, I've made the choice to eat thoughtfully. So what I mean by this is, basically I'm not going vegetarian, I'm not going vegan, I do not want to do those things, so I'm not going to, which is fine because that's my choice and we all have personal choice and free personal choice. However, what I do want to do as a meat eater is to eat more thoughtfully in terms of how much meat I'm eating and the quality of the meat I'm eating and the source of the meat that I'm eating, because I think that's really important as a person that does eat meat, that doesn't necessarily want to be vegan or vegetarian, but wants to consider the environment and help the environment in what they're doing. I think that's really important. So that is the way that I'm trying to help the environment. Question number 8. What is the nicest thing someone did for you this year? So the nicest thing that someone's done for me this year is basically when me and Blake were in the camper van in New Zealand, we was debating what to do because we were supposed to stay there for a bit longer, and utilise our working visa because that's what we had for New Zealand. And as it was coming close to us thinking about Christmas, we realised we didn't really want to be away from our families. It was hard being away from them for so long, and we wanted that family environment again. We really missed it, and we missed our families. So what we decided to do was to come back instead of using our working visa. Now before we left, what Blake did was he gave up his job and he gave up his house that he rented. I lived at home, so I gave up my job, I lived at home, so I gave up my job, and we went travelling. Now we didn't really think about what would happen when we'd come back, and obviously coming back he wouldn't have a place to stay. His family house was pretty full, and it would be quite a while away from me as well. And at the time, and even still now, I don't have my car. I need to get all the stuff sorted before it's back on the road, but basically it would be really hard for us to see each other. So we asked my family, my parents, if he could stay here. It is only temporary. We're not sure, both of us are not really sure what we want to do in our lives right now, or what direction we're going in. So it is only temporary, but they said yes. So Blake's living with us at the moment, and we're both so grateful for that because it's allowed us to stay together. Because after travelling and being together 6 months, like before we went travelling we already wanted to live together because we didn't want to be apart, and then travelling I couldn't have imagined how hard it would be to be apart from him and not knowing when we're going to see each other next. So that was a really generous thing, because the alternative of not having that would be going getting a job, going maybe finding a house together. I don't know, we don't have a deposit for a house, we don't have any money, so it would have been really difficult. Question number 9. What is something that was hard for me at the start of the year but is easy now? Okay, so with this one, I've been talking about it recently. Basically really small and menial, but for people with anxiety, you'll know what I mean when I say this is such a big thing for me. So before travelling, I don't think I could have walked down into my local village by myself or with somebody else and feel completely comfortable. And I would have had anxiety. I don't think I could have gone into a shop comfortably, do that walk and then come back. It would have been so stressful for me internally, and I would have felt like, you know, if you like get a Coke and you put a Mento in it and then shake it up and imagine that like combustion and that feeling. That's what's going on inside of me and would be going on inside of me when I have anxiety, and that's how I would be feeling, and it would have been really difficult. Whereas now I've been going out quite a lot down into the village. Guaranteed it has been with Blake, but I feel like I could comfortably go on my own. I felt really relaxed, and I'm like noticing things that I wouldn't normally notice, and I'm appreciating things that I wouldn't normally appreciate. And just being outside and taking it slow and at a nice pace, it's been really nice actually, and I feel really glad that I can do that now. And I know it's so small and so stupid and menial, but it's a really big thing for me. Question number 10. Of the books I read this year, which has been my favourite and why? I don't even need to think about this question. Basically, bar none, the holy grail of books that I've read this year, Stephen King's Pet Sematary. Now I've spoke about this already. It is my favourite book from this year. At the start of the book, I love the way he ropes you in and he takes you in with that family, and you feel like you're a part of it or you're watching it happen, and it is incredible. It is creepy, and I love creepy and horror, and it is just such a good book. If you have never read it, please get it. It is so good. Like, look out for it in charity shops if you must. It's such a good book, and I was hooked straight away. I'm so obsessed. Question 11. Which person has had the biggest impact in my life and why? So I know it's really soppy, I know it's really gooey, but biggest influence on my life this year has been Blake. I wouldn't be able to do half the things that I do without him by my side, especially travelling. I wouldn't have been able to go out and do that on my own. I wouldn't have been able to go out and do that with anybody, I don't think. But I don't think there's any shame in me saying he has supported me so much and given me so much confidence to do all the things that I've wanted to do. And yeah, I'm so grateful for him being here and giving me the strength and support to do all the things that I want to do. And even things that I've been petrified to do while travelling, he's been there and he's been holding my hand, telling me that I can do it and that I don't need to be afraid. And I think that's really valuable, and yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do any of the things that I've done without him. So I'm very grateful for him being in my life. As well as that, it's just confirmed to me even more that there's no one else that I'd rather spend my life with than him. He has been incredible through this whole journey and my journey and trying to find myself, and he's been the one consistent in my life, and I'd be lost without him. Question number 12. What could I have done to make this year better? So I was really thinking about this one, and I feel like I would have loved to have done more volunteering work, and it was kind of impossible to do on my trip, because basically they usually ask for like a minimum of a month, and with having to see all the places that we did and being on the move every couple of days, it would just not have been possible. We would have had to put aside like a whole month extra, and accommodation and food and stuff like that, and like a given there, some of those are included, but that isn't what this trip was supposed to be about. I mean, this was mine and Blake's trip. It would have been so unfair for me to say, no, I'm doing a month volunteering here, suck it up. Like, that wouldn't have been fair at all, and he would have been either roped into doing it with me or being on his own, and that's just not how he works. So I mean, I would have loved to have worked with more animals, definitely, but didn't have the time, didn't have the money. So hopefully in the future I can get to do some more volunteering work, because that would be brilliant. I'd love to do some in Australia. That would be so much fun, like working with the turtles or something and putting them back in the ocean, or just raising them or whatever. I don't know yet. I would love to do something like that. So question number 13. What 3 adjectives best describe this year? So I chose adventurous, reflective and fearless. I don't think I really need to explain those, they're kind of self-explanatory. Don't want to have any more excuse to talk about travelling, so. Question number 14. Knowing what I know now, if I could travel back in time to the start of 2019, what advice would I give myself? So this is some advice that our family members gave us when we was in Sri Lanka and going through what we was going through. And they said that we can get through anything as long as we stick together. And that has been so true throughout our entire trip. We've been completely dependent on each other because that's all we've had, and everything that we've struggled through, everything that we've done, we've come out the other side and come out stronger, braver, smarter, and rely on each other and you'll get through it. Question number 15. When I consider the rest of my life, what percentage of what I have learned this year do I think will be useful to me? So for this one I put 80%, because everything that I've experienced is going to stay with me for the rest of my life. I've learned things about myself, and I've learned things about the world that I would probably never really be open to before I travelled. So everything that I have learned I've taken on board, and definitely a good 80% of that is going to stay with me for the rest of my life. Like, I know it's so cliche, but travelling did change me, and definitely for the better. Definitely like opened my eyes to so many things, and don't get me wrong, I have still so much to learn, but everything that I experienced was a massive intellectual and personal growth. On a scale of 1 to 10, how have I fared this year? So I scored myself like a 7, and I think that's pretty reasonable, because considering everything that I've been through and we've been through, I think 7 is a good, decent answer, really. There's been tough times, there's been really horrible times, and there's been some real highs, and it's coming out the dark times and coming out the other side brighter that has made my character more developed and made me who I am more as a person, and taught me so many things about myself. So although this year has had its struggles and it's been tough, we got through it, it's all good, we're happy, we're healthy. So yeah. Question 17. Who do I want to celebrate my victories with? Now, I thought this was a really random question in these like question mix, but that's cool, that's cool. So obviously I want to celebrate it with Blake, but additionally I really want to celebrate it with my family, just because I feel like family was something that we really grew to desire as we was traveling, and there wasn't a day that I didn't message them. I definitely have a whole new appreciation for family and the support that they give and how good it is to be part of a decent, good, loving family. So definitely 100% want to be with my family. Question 18. What are my most important goals for next year? So you know something's coming when I say so. I'm either going to ramble or I'm going to list off loads of stuff. So here we go. First thing, I want to stay focused and productive. I am really, really bad for time management and staying consistent and productive, like being productive, and there's so many things that I want to do, but like having the incentive to go and do them, like I really need to kick up the arse. So staying focused on my long-term goals and what I want to achieve is probably one of the most important things that I want for next year. Next thing, I want to increase and improve my fitness. So before traveling I would go to the gym quite a bit, but I was never consistent, and I really miss exercise. So every morning basically what I've been trying to do is do some yoga, so whether that's like wake up yoga or a little routine, I've been doing that. And I also want to like renew my gym membership. It's quite pricey, so I was thinking about only doing it for 6 months, and obviously I've just been traveling, so I'm poor. I'm a poor little bean, but I do want to do it. And I was thinking maybe instead of like a 24-hour transformation video like people do, I was going to do a 6-month transformation. So do like a workout routine, I want to like tone up, I want to get a little bit fitter, I want to eat better, which is the next thing on my list, by the way, which I'm going to come to. So I definitely want to do that and just get better and healthier as a person, so that's on the list. As mentioned, eat better is also on the list, so I mean these will feature in like a future video, I promise. But I'm on a special psoriasis diet at the moment, which I am going to talk about and do a couple of videos on. But I want to eat healthier and avoid things that will potentially trigger my psoriasis. The next one, I want to get a proper routine going. So definitely like yoga in the morning. For the past week I've been doing it consistently, just so I've got structure in my life, because if I've got a routine and I've got structure, then I'm more likely to stick to the things that I want to do, whereas if I don't, then that's where it all goes wrong. So pretty much that's what's gonna happen, that's what I'm gonna do. Next one on the list, I want to grow my YouTube. Woo! So basically I've been wanting to do YouTube for a very long time, like at least over 10 years. So now that I've got the means to do it, I actually have a proper schedule now. I upload every Thursday at 6 PM UK time. So that is my schedule for now. So yeah, and I really want to grow a proper community here on YouTube, because I absolutely love doing this. It's so me. Like I said, I've wanted to do it for so long, and it'd be so nice to just grow a nice environment, a nice community, just where someone that is behind the camera feels real and is a real person, because everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm putting out here is 100% genuine, and I feel like there's not enough of that, and not enough of nice, good people, and just to have fun. Just, that's what I want. I'm an absolute idiot, but I just want to have fun and create a place where people can come and forget about things that have happened in their day and can switch off and can watch my videos and feel like they're just sat here with a friend. So yeah. And I did put in teeny tiny little writing at the bottom that I would love to travel again next year. People keep saying to me, oh, have you got the travel bug now since you've been back? And I'm like, no, because I already had the travel bug, that's why I went. Since we've been back, we really, especially me, want to go to Europe. We've already been together to Budapest and Prague. Blake's been a few more places than I have because he's been interrailing, but we've been talking about going to a few more places, so we can dream, right? We can totally dream. And then question 19, how am I planning on achieving this? So I've put that I want to stay focused on my goals. In doing so, it's going to take me to what I want. I just want to stay focused and keep my goals in sight, and as long as they're there, then I will achieve everything that I want. I've put, I need to plan, because if I plan, then I can't mess up because it's planned and I have to do it. That's my schedule. That's my theory anyway, but if I plan, it's gonna be okay. And then I've also put on here to get a part-time job. So I'm not currently employed, so funds are low. And when I say low, they are low. Especially around Christmas. It's the worst time of the year. No, but expensive. And it would be nice to have funds for myself. It would be nice to be able to buy makeup for makeup looks. It would be nice to be able to improve the equipment that I'm using. It would be nice to be able to go travelling and make more travel videos, and I would really love that because I really enjoyed filming everything for travelling, and it'd be nice to do that and put more energy and effort into it and plan it out. That is how I'm planning on potentially achieving this. Question 20. Oh, this is the last question! Woohoo! So question 20. What should I do differently next year? So one of the main things that I want to do is to keep my upload schedule, and the travel videos are actually finished for this year, so we're not going to see any more travel footage, I don't think, until the new year. So that's going to be really interesting and fun. Basically, with my schedule at the moment, I have this video going up on this coming Thursday, and then I might as well tell you now, because why the hell not, I am doing a little Christmas challenge. So I'm doing a 12 days of Christmas makeup challenge. So on the 13th is when it's going to go live, the first video, and for 12 days of Christmas, which will take us up to Christmas Day, I'm going to be doing a different Christmas themed makeup look every single day. So that means filming, editing, uploading every single day. I know, I'm crazy. For someone that doesn't have a very good schedule, doesn't have very good time management or commitment, I'm doing this. So keep a lookout for that, and I am also going to have a Yule video coming out, which is to do with Wiccan altars. So definitely keep a lookout for that as well, but that is the schedule for the rest of December, so I am going to be a very busy girly. Anyway, back to the questions. Oh my gosh, you guys are so distracting. Next thing I'm going to do next year is keep a proper bullet journal. Now, back to the whole non-consistent thing, holding my hands up, this will be the third time that I am starting my bullet journal. I really love using my bullet journal. The only issue I usually have is I get behind with doing like the artwork and making it look nice and planning my pages, which is why I get behind, which is why I don't bother using it. But it actually really works for me, and I like writing it down. So instead of just using like my idea book for everything YouTube related, I can put in upload dates, I can put in certain planned videos, and I can plan for that. So that's going to be really useful for me. And then the next thing that I'm going to be doing in the new year, and it's probably the main thing that I'm going to be doing next year, is I'm going to be focusing on myself. So with that I mean I want to become the best version of myself that I can be. I want to be exercising more, drinking more water, eating healthy, be a nice, wholesome, happy human being. Probably never going to happen, but I definitely want to focus on myself, my mentality, do meditation, yoga, just real self-care things that will make me feel a lot better about myself and my mentality. So that is on the list, and that concludes today's video. So crazy that I'm doing like another tag video and it's been like a year since the first one. What? What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tag or send this video to a bunch of lovely other people and ask if they would be so kind to do this too, so we can get a real like tag video going. It'd be really nice for other people to do this too. It's really interesting to see how other people's years have gone and what things they're going to be doing for the new year. Please do let me know down below what you have planned for the new year, what goals you might have set, what goals you're thinking about setting, and it would be great to hear from you. If you do decide to do this tag, then please do send it to me. I would love to see it and watch your videos of you answering the questions basically like I have. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.